Hello, and welcome to Dave Hill's podcasting incident. With me, Dave Hill, the pride of Cleveland and beyond. I once, something happened at the Denver airport. I honestly can't even get into it, but thank you, the entire staff of Cinnabon, and I'll leave it at that. Anyway, thank you for joining me once again for this incredible and futuristic podcast. If you can tell by the sound quality, for 2 weeks running now, I can't seem to figure out how to get the slick new microphones we bought. I can't figure out how to get them to work because I'm here all alone. But Chris, my partner in crime, Chris Gersbeck, the brains behind the operation, the tech wizard, he's going to be swinging by tomorrow, and he'll right some wrongs and help me, learn how to do it again. So I'm recording this into my iPhone like a goddamn animal. Anyway, things are really great with me otherwise. This is coming out on Friday, March 8th, 2019. If you're hearing it on that day or the day before, that would break the time-space continuum. I mean the day after. Anyway, all by way of saying, I'm going to be at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, doing shows the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Also, a movie I'm in called Carmine Street Guitars is going to be premiering there, or showing there, or however it works. I don't know the lingo. So, if you're going to be down there, come seek me out, and we'll hold each other along into the night. Also, speaking of movies, I'm glad you asked. A new movie I'm in called Boy Band just came out on iTunes and other digital streaming platforms. It stars me, Steve Agee, Jordan Carlos, Seth Herzog, Esther Kuz in it, Dave Gruber, Allen. The list goes on, and it's incredible. Julie Goldman is in it. She's incredible, hilarious. Who am I forgetting? Probably just too many people. Anyway, but Gilbert Gottfried, did I mention that? He's also in it. Questlove. Anyway, Boy Band is the movie. It's about a boy band struggling to make their second album 16 years or something after the first one. Mayhem, hilarity, and coming back from the dead ensues. Anyway, those are my hot plugs. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rating and reviewing and subscribing on iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else. Please, and now I'm just begging, please go rate and review this podcast on iTunes, even if you're like, this sucks. 1 star. No, mostly just 5 stars would be cool. But please do it, because then it helps. There's some futuristic algorithm that makes it so people listen to it or something. I don't know. I don't get how science works. I just believe in it. Thank you to everyone supporting us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Dave Hill. There's patches, there's shirts, there's all sorts of stuff. There's me calling you singing Billy Joel songs. And on some level, one prize level, among the many prizes you get, I read an erotic short story for you. And I'm going to read some today that I've written. This goes out to Kayla Fulp. Get ready, Kayla. This one is graphic, if I do say so. Chris, put some sexy music here if you can. By the way, I think someone's using like a weed whacker outside my window, which is weird considering it's like in the 20s. Here we go. Kayla Fulp went to Walmart and started making out with the Walmart greeter, and then they had like 78 babies right there at Walmart. It was nuts. That one was steamy. Next up, Ron Bailey. Or Bailey? Am I saying it wrong? Probably saying it wrong. Ron Bailey was in the produce department at Whole Foods, and this lady asked him what he thought of the melons. She was talking about her boobs. No way. Yeah, way. Anyway, that one's dirty. Let's keep going. Evan Baumgartner was going through a toll booth, and the sexy toll booth operator told him to get out of the car immediately so they could pork. He couldn't believe it. That one might be too dirty, actually. My apologies. I hope you're not listening to this with young people around. impressionable use. Anyway, if you'd like an incredible erotic short story, or just support this cause and make it so Chris will teach me how to use the new microphones tomorrow, please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Hill. We have an incredible episode in store for you. Oh, by the way, I just want to say very quickly, if I can digress as usual, pretty much a champion digressor. We're going to be launching a new podcast called You Had to Be There. That's me, Jodi Lennon, and Jim Biederman. And it's a show, it's a live, improvised, freeform, freak-out show we do live at QED. Usually on Wednesdays, and bringing it to you. And in it, I explain my involvement in great moments in history. And it's coming fast and hard. We're going to start releasing those soon, early to Patreon members, and then everyone else will get them a week later or something. But I'm really excited about it. People have been loving the live shows, and hopefully people will love the podcast. And speaking of You Had to Be There, my guest today is one of my You Had to Be There partners in crime. That's right. Jodi Lennon. Jodi's a comedian, a writer. She's hilarious. Most recently, she's worked on a little show I like to call At Home with Amy Sedaris, which is actually what the show is called. It's one of my favorite TV shows currently on, and probably ever. And we talk about that a little bit, and then we talk about all sorts of other cool stuff. So please, strap yourselves in for my delightful conversation with Jodi Lennon. Oh, if I can digress one more time, just real quick. This was recorded, what I'm doing right now is recorded, I'm just in my apartment, but we recorded this podcast in the basement at QED. Lucy, unfortunately, was not able to be there, so it is a dog sound-free episode. Hopefully Chris will add some at some point, because what would this podcast be without some sweet, sweet Lucy noises? Anyway, here we go. Here's me and Jodi Lennon yapping away. Thank you for joining me on my podcast.
I'm so happy to be here. I always welcome any opportunity to speak with you.
Likewise. It's weird. This is also the first episode, I think, where Chris wasn't sitting here.
Holy shit.
So it's real, we don't have the audience of one.
And do you always not wear pants when you record, or is that something new too?
It's just really hot in here. You don't feel it?
It is warm.
Very warm in here. You and I so tonight we're at QED Astoria. This is where we're recording the episode, and we were just upstairs, and there was a Queens-based magazine that was advertising. Talking about how bikini season's coming.
It is.
Fast and hard.
Are you getting ready for it?
Super ready.
What do you do?
I just try to get super ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Just shed, that winter 35.
Is it 35? It doesn't seem like it. I don't know where you're carrying that.
I hide it. No, I'm going to try to get ripped, I think.
And do you do a series of exercises and diet, or just one or the other?
Cocaine. No. I'm trying. I feel like my pants are getting maybe, were we just talking about this where you put on some pants and you're like, oh, these are a little snug, aren't they?
No. Who are you talking to that?
Someone, I don't know. We were talking about the pants test. I don't know. I can't remember.
So sometimes your pants are snug. And lately, have they been?
A little bit. Yeah, today when I put them on to leave the house.
Feeling a little snug.
I was like, I might be getting a little extra padding.
Truth be told, I've been eating a lot of crepes lately.
Crepes?
I know.
What kind of crepes?
I've been all over the map with the crepes. I do a savory is mostly what I want to do.
That would do like a cheese and mushroom crepe?
Yeah, arugula and brie is a thing.
That sounds like a nice crepe.
Or an apple. And then I went rogue and I had just a sugar and lemon one. It's a habit, a daily habit, because there's a place near me, and not only do I eat the crepes, but I leave smelling like I work at the crepe place.
I was going to ask if that was, I thought maybe you had a home crepe situation. But you get your crepes on the outside.
I do. I thought you were going to ask if I started working at a crepe place because I smell like it today.
No, well, you could do a lot worse.
It's
than
true.
A crepe. What are crepes? I mean, I know what they are, but where do they come from?
They French?
They're French?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clip.
Where do you go?
There's a place in my neighborhood, and so they have a strong Wi-Fi signal. Is it a signal?
Sure.
Yeah. They have one of those, and it's chill, and the sunlight is just perfect. And so just to get out of my house, sometimes I'll go and look at the internet there.
Okay, and then are you required to order crepes to do that?
The only no. But
you know, just like a coffee?
I feel like you're paying for the Wi-Fi and the seat. So it's the least I can do is you should spend at least $10.
Throw a crepe on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tonight, there was a police incident, and it's Ash Wednesday. Will I ruin things if I let people know when we're recording this?
No, this will come out a couple days after Ash Wednesday.
Oh, good.
Did you? I didn't see that many people ashed. Usually, I'm taken aback by how many people have ashes in New York City, because I think, because I'm Catholic, but clearly not that Catholic because I don't have my ashes.
I can attest to that. I don't see any.
But I almost never get them. Like, even when I was more keeping up to speed on being Catholic, I still didn't really get them that often. But I'm always is it just Catholics who get the ashes?
I don't think so because, well, I know no, because like my mom is Episcopalian and she gets them.
She gets ashes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to guess. If anybody else, it would be the Episcopalians.
And I think I heard about a Lutheran fast ash service availability.
Fast ash, you say?
Yes, like I read something today that there was a Lutheran church that was offering faster ashes, like almost in a drive-through window kind of way.
Oh, the Catholics do that. You just go in and there's a line and then you get ashed and you go on your way.
The Lutherans were trying to advertise something that was much more convenient and faster.
Faster ash. And what's the idea? It's to remind ourselves that we come from ashes and we're returned dust to dust, ash to ash. Is that it?
You tell me.
I think so. God, let's look this up. You would think that I would know, having gone to I went to Catholic kindergarten. That's how Catholic I am.
Wow.
Catholic kindergarten. And I went to Catholic grade school, high school, and college.
We'll see. You'd think you'd know.
I do know, but I feel like is marked. Okay. What is the significance of Ash Wednesday? Today is Ash Wednesday. First day of Lent. We know this. Period of self-restraint and abstention. Okay. But why the ashes?
Yeah.
Why do we put ashes on our forehead? Okay. Yeah. Remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return. I was right. I don't know why I'm not more sure of myself when it comes to biblical stuff.
I don't know why either. I mean, you really should know since you've got such an enriched history with it.
I know. Well, I did answer correctly, and it checks out.
You did. You should have just been confident with it. I didn't know much about it, and I would have bought anything you had to say.
I should have said something cooler than the truth.
The truth is pretty cool, what you're saying, like we're ash.
It is pretty cool.
Reminder today.
I was thinking about it, and I do think it's pretty cool, like even if you're not, you could be an atheist and still be on board with that idea.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, because it's still true.
It is so bananas when you see people with the ashes. And so back to my crepe place. Let's get crepe. Well, it's not so exciting,
we got derailed.
No, it's good. 2 police officers came in based on a previous incident, and they both had ashes on their foreheads.
What was the previous incident?
There was a couple, as I learned, there was a couple that had been hanging out there, and the guy left $20 with the woman for the check, and then the woman took the money and left, so she didn't pay. So, yeah,
a classic dine and dash.
But was it? Because it seemed like he was trying to pay, so it wasn't so classic.
She did the dining and dashing.
Yeah, and she made $20.
But then did they come back and bust her?
The couple had left, so they were just reporting the incident.
Man, I wouldn't have the gumption to dine and dash.
You've never done it?
No, not even as a kid.
Have you stolen anything? Today's the day to let me know.
I stole something once.
What was the thing? Why are you holding back?
When I was very little, like old enough to be sitting in a shopping cart at a grocery store.
So 17, 18?
I was 26. No, I might have been. No, maybe I wasn't. I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So maybe I wasn't in the cart. But in the checkout at the grocery store, I stole a pack of gum.
What brand?
I remember the packaging was like pink or red.
Hubba Bubba?
No. It was before the big... it was before the advent of Hubba Bubba and Bubblicious and all that. So...
And you just put it in your...
I took it home, and my mom saw me with a pack of gum, and she was like, "Where'd you get gum? I didn't buy you gum." And I told her that I took it at the store, and she took me back to the store and had me walk in and be like, "I stole this.
Yeah.
Sorry." And I'm pretty sure that's the last time I ever stole anything.
Did you cry?
I don't think so, because I was just like, you know what? I'm 5. Come on. You know? I'm not even sure I comprehended what I had done. You know? I think it was more like a thing of, I asked my mom for the gum. She said no. And I probably was like, I know a way I can have this gum. I'll just take it myself.
Right.
Because I can reach it.
It worked.
Yeah. And I think that was the last... I don't think I've ever stolen besides then that I can think of. I mean, I remember even being like in grade school or high school, and there was this place called Beef Corral by my house. It was like Arby's.
Okay. Like a wet meat sandwich?
Yeah, it was like that liquid meat sandwich, basically. But delicious at the time. And somehow we went... Oh, you know what? Okay. Now it's all coming back. So anyway, we kept trying to pay, and the girl just didn't take our money. And I think she was just trying to be like, I'm going to get you guys free Beef Corral because I'm a teenager working here, and you're just a few years. Or she spaced. I don't know what happened, but we took the food out to the parking lot, and I couldn't eat it. Because I felt so guilty about what had happened. I was like, this is like ill-gotten gains. Now, of course, fast forward just a few short years in high school, and this is my last thievery story. And then I'm going to ask you, turn it on you.
Mm-mm.
Thievery. You won't tell your thievery stories?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because this is on the record.
I know. And I see the police officers here, too.
With their ashes. But, no, I when in high school, I came up with this really dumb idea to, at least I think it was my idea. It was me and 3 other friends, 2 cars. And we would drive through the Burger King drive-thru. And the idea was, our friend Kevin was really fast. And so... you order a bunch of food, and then when you pay in the first one, so you're still paying. So it's more like a 50% off crime the way it goes down. So we order, Whoppers and chicken tenders and all these things, and then we drive through and pick it up at the second window, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you pull up to the second window, you drive out really far, like as far as you can in the drive-through. So there's like a good 3 feet between you and the window.
Boy.
You see where this is headed?
Mm-hmm.
So when they're like, oh, and you drive through and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I pulled over really far. And then so my buddy Tim and I drive through, and Kevin's waiting at the end of the Burger King. You're like right at the front. So when they hand the food off, he runs through and grabs it like it's a football play or something, you know, and he runs over to my friend Rob's car and drives off with the Burger King.
Wow.
And we had to sit there. I couldn't keep a straight face back then. It was so dumb.
You can't now. You
I know.
see that you can't, right?
Well, it was just such, you know, I was so delighted by this dumb thing we were doing.
It's so involved. There's so many elements. I can't even imagine how.
It's the imperfect crime, because we probably had to spend, you know, $12 to get $24 worth of Burger King. And then I was like, you know, I was 16 or something, so I was just like, I don't care about rules. And then we met in like the school parking lot and ate it. And it was the most delicious Burger King I'd ever had. But I think that would have been the only other time that I can think of where I stole something. How about you? What have you ever stolen, if anything?
I had a high school incident once where I stole a T-shirt, like a full T-shirt, but it was involved. I had a wig on.
What? This is a caper.
It was a caper, and I used to do a lot of So I had a wig on that my mom owned a series of wigs.
Why? Because it was like...
She just had them from like the 70s. She used to have wigs and
stuff. My mom did too. We had a ton of wigs in the house.
We had wigs in the house, which is always fun.
To my knowledge, I never saw her wearing a wig. Yeah. But we had easily 3 or 4 of them. Like we would wear them around the house.
We wore ours around the house too. And there were a couple incidents when I used the wigs, and one was to try to buy liquor. And I had my mom's ID from something, and I used to wear the wig and also pretend I couldn't hear. And so,
like you had
I
deaf?
just couldn't hear. Yeah, I guess officially it was I was pretending I was deaf, but I didn't like do sign language or speak it like somebody who couldn't hear. I just wouldn't acknowledge anything that was said at me. And so it's such a bad idea. And I would go to the shadiest, with girlfriends, the shadiest liquor store or package store in Portland, Maine.
They called them packies there?
Yeah, they were packies. But yeah, and it worked every single time. And I would buy those jumbo wine coolers, like they were like
Bartles and like 2 liters.
Yeah,
Bartles
2 liter.
James.
That was our jam.
Oh man.
So, but with my mom's like wardrobe a little bit, I would just like go. It was such effort.
Why did you think that made you look older?
I don't know. It was so lame. It's like what you'd see the Brady Bunch do. Was my idea.
When
it's so stupid.
That's bizarre.
It was so dumb.
But it worked.
It worked. But I feel like if I had walked in off the street and just not given an ID or said anything, it probably would have worked at the same place.
Yeah, how old were you when you were doing this?
Like 17.
Oh.
But when I was 17, I probably looked like 11 or 12. I mean, I really was like just a lame-o.
A lame-o.
Pre-pubescent. I was pubescent, but I looked like I had a bad haircut and flat-chested and tiny. A peanut.
You were a little peanut.
I was a little tiny peanut.
Hammered on Bartles and James.
I know. One whiff, and I was done.
Oh, man.
To be, the good news is that used to feed a lot of teenage girls in my town. That one big bottle.
Whatever happened to like? It seemed like girls would drink wine coolers, and guys would drink Bud or something.
Yeah, we all used to meet in a sand pit. Did you have like a pit in your town, like a place like you could drive cars close to, and then you'd have to trek through terrain, like woods or something, and then there'd be an oasis of some sort of clearing.
Yeah.
And then there'd be like a bonfire and like a boom box playing some cassettes, and there'd be making out and groping and drinking.
There would be stuff like that. And it's amazing, like, looking, I didn't drink in high school. Like, I wasn't, I guess I was
cool.
Straight edge. I wasn't cool. No, I was like, I just didn't, I don't know. I was just like, I'm never going to drink. I mean, that only lasted until I was like 18, I think. And then I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, mine started at 17 to 8. Like, it wasn't a big window.
Mm-hmm. And then, but I was just like, I remember, I think I went to see Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh.
At Blossom Music Center outside of Cleveland, like an outdoor summer shed. And I went with a friend, my friend Kevin, not the same Kevin from Burger King, but a different Kevin, and another friend, I can't remember who it was, but I think that other friend drove. And we were drinking big beers, and I was like, beer's awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm having the best time.
I'm awesome.
And, that's just been a downward spiral ever since.
It was called the Blossom Music Center?
Blossom Music Center. Yeah, it's like where everyone, like someone's going to play, Slipknot or someone's going to play there in a few months probably.
It's a bit of a lame name for like a place that you see concerts.
Yeah, well, it's like they would have, the Cleveland Orchestra would be there, and then you would go see, like, I would see everything there. Like I would just go to, when I was that age, did you go to concerts a lot when you were?
Yeah.
I would go literally, if there was going to be an electric guitar on stage, I did not care what else was going on. I was like, I'm in. Like, someone could just ask me to see anything, and I'd be like, yep, I'm going. And I had stuff I really liked, but I would also go see anything. Like, I would go see The Replacements one night, and then I would go see like ZZ Top the next night. Perfect. And then I would go see the Starship.
Yeah.
Like, I would go see anything if someone was going to play a guitar through an amp, I would be like, yes, I'm in.
And were you going with your friends and you get rides or?
Yeah. Get rides I get whatever it took. But I was pretty much driving because I never went to see a concert until I was like 15. I went to see U2.
That was your first concert?
Yeah. In an arena.
I saw the Kinks. But was that Come Dancin' tour.
Yeah.
Which was still fantastic, but you think it was the Kinks, so it was really fantastic. But
they're one of the greatest groups of all time.
Yeah. And I saw them in Portland, Maine, in the Portland Civic Center, which is where I saw a lot of people. One of the coolest ways I saw a concert was we sailed and saw REM.
You sailed? You took a boat to an REM concert?
Yeah, it was so
That's
silly.
That's like the whitest thing that's ever happened. I know. I don't know why. It's just as you said it, I was like, what is it about that? I'm like, oh, that is the whitest thing in history.
Well, we lived in Falmouth, which was across the bay from Portland, and friends' parents had a sailboat, which they illegally took. I sound like a Maine hoodlum.
Yeah,
which I kind of like.
Wine coolers and wigs, wearing wigs and like middle-aged women's clothing to buy wine coolers as a teen.
Stealing sailboats that were daddy's friends.
And would you wear like costume jewelry
during high school?
Like in these crimes.
Yes, I definitely did. I had clip-on earrings. And my mom wore a frosted snowy orange lipstick that I would also put on.
I love I can picture that. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah, I had a whole getup. But as lame as you think it is that I sailed to an REM concert.
No, it's not lame. I'm just saying it's a pretty
I know.
suburban white thing to have happen.
It seemed pretty rebellious at the time.
It's pretty rebellious.
Especially, sailing at night can be pretty dangerous, and I don't recommend it to anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. And we kind of didn't know what we were doing. And we sailed there, and we docked, and then went to the concert, and then sailed back. And there was no launch to bring us back to the whatever it's called, the dock.
What does that mean?
So
A launch. I'm from Cleveland.
So
I
you
no
have
idea what you're saying.
there's like a little boat that brings you back from where you hold your boat.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
and you have to go on a radio and you're like, I'm here, come get me. And it's like a little dinghy driver guy.
Oh, and so they take you back to your...
Yeah, to the dock.
The dock. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how did you get the boat back?
Well, so the boat was docked where it was supposed to be, but we couldn't get back to land. So we just had to kind of stay on the boat and hang out.
This
Till
sounds
morning.
like hell.
It was pretty fun because we were all we weren't wasted or anything, but we were all high off listening to REM. And
Yeah.
we were actually just on a sailboat on a main bay listening to more REM.
What
And it was really-
album would that have been?
I think it was Murmur, maybe.
Oh, yeah. That
That's
would have
a
been
good
a fun
one.
time. I'm trying to think, I saw REM a few times, but then I probably haven't seen them since, like I was 18 or something, now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't think I saw them again either.
I would have seen them again. I don't know what happened.
I know. I accidentally saw Mazzy Star 3 times.
I would like that.
That's a lot. It was within 1 year in Chicago, and people kept giving me Mazzy Star tickets, which was fine and great and inviting me. And I felt like it just became too much. As much as I loved Mazzy Star, it was just a little too depressing.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like it's an awesome thing, but it's kind of the same thing
Yeah.
over and over. But it's an awesome thing.
That tambourine.
I love that.
I know, me too.
Every time I hear Mazzy Star, I'm like, I want to be in Mazzy Star.
Right.
I want to hit that tambourine in Mazzy
Yeah.
Star.
Just those big eyes just slowly hitting a tambourine on one's thigh while wearing the perfect velvet dress. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the dream for all of us.
Hope Sandoval, is that her name?
Good job. Yeah.
She's a delight.
Yes.
I mean, one can only assume. I don't
would
know her
assume.
personally. Can we talk about show business?
Sure.
The show that you're working on?
What show am I working on?
On At Home with Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, I mean, we're officially wrapped, and it's on the air now currently. And it's season 2, and I recommend everybody see it. It's the funniest
I love
and the
that
best.
show.
Oh,
I'm not
well, that's
saying
nice.
that pandering. You know, I've said it before.
You have.
It's an absolute. It's like, to me, the modern version of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pee-wee influence for sure. But I mean, Amy, she's kind of she comes with a world.
Yeah. Now, what is she? How much is her own home like the home we see on the program?
It's a lot like it, actually. There was the set designers, everybody who's involved in the show from a decorating perspective have definitely been to Amy's apartment and take pictures. And Amy has her hands on the entire design of the show. So there's a lot of influence. And Hugh Hamrick, who's also somebody that Amy's worked with for a long time.
He works on the
paints-
show?
Well, he paints a lot of the portraits that are in the show that you might see on the walls on the set.
And that's her brother's partner?
Yep, boyfriend, Hugh. And so, yeah, I mean, there are just a lot of different people that Amy's worked with for years and years that are, like, the art is real.
Yeah.
It's really real art. It's not an imitation of stuff.
She made me once. She did my my show at UCB years ago, and she made me an eye compress out of pantyhose and like I want to say they were navy beans.
Oh yeah.
Or pinto. What's the bean with the white and then it's got a little speck of black?
A black-eyed pea?
Maybe it was black-eyed peas. But it's full of those.
Yep.
And then it had little eyes.
Right.
And then you put it on your head as a compress.
Yeah.
And then my dog ate it, and the beans went everywhere.
Oh, no.
But it was pretty cool for a while.
Yeah, that's a classic, good craft and thing to have around the house.
Totally. Do you have any wild stories from the set of At Home with Amy Sedaris?
I mean, there are lots of wild stories in that the show is a joy to work on, and to see Amy do multiple characters is incredible. And they're always, so we have doubles that are always wearing the same clothes as Amy as different characters. So it's very common for you to see like a Patty Hogg and a wine lady and then Amy, and you never, like at a quick glance, you never remember like, oh, you're like, oh, there's Amy. No, it's a double.
Wait, why are there doubles?
Because she's in scenes with herself in character.
Oh, yeah, and you can't just shoot that.
You got to
in
Patty
a way.
Duke it.
You got to Patty Duke it. I didn't think of that. Yeah, of course. I'm such an idiot. And I've seen the show many times.
Yeah.
Admittedly, not seen this season yet.
Well,
I'm a binge watcher.
Oh.
So what I'll do is I'll just watch them all.
Yeah.
And like, you know what binge watching is. You see my point.
I do. But yeah, that's a good one to binge.
I was on that show, The Tick.
Yes.
You know, with
Peter Serafinowicz.
Serafinowicz, yeah. And they had a guy, I was on one episode for one day, and they had a guy, because The Tick, his outfit is like really involved. He's really packed into this crazy outfit all day long. But then they have another guy in the same outfit.
Oh.
For reasons that were unclear to me. And he was just kind of hanging out all day long in this outfit that I think was like really painful. And I never got to the bottom of it.
Why was he like that?
I don't know. He would just be like, you would look and there would be like, same thing. You'd be like, there's Peter. And you'd be like, no, that's the guy dressed as the
Was it
Tick.
for blocking or something?
I don't think so.
That's
like
a
he
lot.
was just in the full-on costume and he would just sit there.
Maybe he won a contest.
Yeah, be the Tick for the day. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd be Tick for a day. I love him.
Yeah.
He did our show in season 1, and that was exciting. I was very starstruck because I loved that show, Look Around You.
Yeah.
In England. And
That's a great show.
And I love him. I think he's so great. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Robert Popper.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are hilarious guys.
Hilarious.
Those English, they're funny people.
They're really funny people.
We have a show. This is exciting. We've been working on this show. You Had to Be There, which we're going to do tonight. Upstairs. We're going to go upstairs.
Will you get sick of talking to me? Let's do
No.
our pre-show now.
I feel like this is a good exercise. Mm-hmm. So, like, by the time we get up there, it's like we've been practicing scales.
Yep.
For an hour, and then we get up there and we just start ripping solos.
And I'll be on the bass, and
laying
Biederman will
it
be like on the cowbell.
Yeah, that's
and the
exactly.
tambourine. He'll be Hope Sandoval. Sandovaling it.
Yeah, just on the tambo.
It's been really fun doing a show with you and Jim.
Likewise. That you make it sound like you're quitting. You're not quitting, are you?
Well, I brought 2 letters that are in envelopes to the space, one for you and one for Jim.
What do they say?
They say, Dear Dave.
It's like a Dear John letter, but a Dear Dave letter?
No way. You guys will have to kick me out. I am not stopping.
Maybe
I enjoy
that'd be like
it too
a
much.
scandal.
You think?
Yeah.
If the 3 of us were to have a scandal, who would have it first?
Probably me, what with me being a rock and roller.
Right. And all the thievery in your past.
Thievery, the Burger King thing. Maybe you, though. I don't know. You're the one wearing a wig around trying to get wine coolers.
And I stole that T-shirt.
Yeah.
out of a boutique.
Wait, so what was on the T-shirt?
It had pieces of sushi on it. It was like illustrated pieces of sushi, and I was, me and a friend wanted it. And we traded it. We shared it. And one was, she acted as like a shield. She created an incident.
Oh.
I took the T-shirt
create
and I left.
a distraction.
Yeah.
I had
Terrible.
some friends in college, and I guess I was kind of involved in this because I was, in a court of law, I would be, now I'm coming up with more stories where I was involved in theft. But in college, like I remember once there in this pizza place, there was a framed picture of Elvis, and my friends and I like were really into Elvis in college. And so my one friend, another Kevin, a third Kevin enters the scene.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to you.
What's with you and Kevin's?
I mean, it's just like a typical white guy name. Kevin. Some kid Kevin from...
So this is the third Kevin.
The third Kevin of the night. I can't even keep track of all the Kevins. But, so he wanted the Elvis picture. So my friend Pat went behind the counter, just started walking up to...
I like how your own recollection cracks you up.
Well, it's just, I can picture these things and just how stupid they were. And he would go, like, there'd be like some guy. We were in the Bronx. We went to Fordham. And he would go behind, just go, would you? He'd go like, would you put in this pizza?
Oh, no.
Would you put in it? Like, I'm going to be...
Oh, no. So he caused a distraction.
Yeah. And he would go... He would go behind the counter. So the guy making the pizzas would freak out because he would think that someone was going to throw up
near the ingredients.
Yeah, so he'd be like, no. And then Kevin stole the Elvis thing.
Oh, no.
And it was just the most amazing thing to witness. And then, then another time, another pizza place in the Bronx, they had, for whatever reason, they had donuts. And I remember my friend Tim wanted a donut, but he said I want a donut, but because we're so broke. And he was like, I want a donut, but I don't have any money. I don't want to pay for it. So Pat again did what'd you put in this pizza? And Tim just went and like picked up the glass and helped himself to it.
It's like something you learned from like Porky's, the movie, or something. Like the lamest. It's so much acting involved.
But it was just so funny watching, like...
That's so good.
Watching Pat go, what'd you put in this pizza? He'd be like holding his...
Oh, my God. I'm so glad I don't have any children. I couldn't deal with this.
Oh, my God. It was so good. And the funny, I was just thinking about Pat is now like... He has twin daughters, and they're in high school. And I don't think they have any idea that I'll have to tell them this story.
That's pretty good.
It's so, oh my God, it's still, but all those stories from like I can think of, do you do that, like where you think of stuff from like high school and stuff, and I'm instantly right back there, and it's the funniest, as funny as if it just happened.
Absolutely. I still talk to my best friend from high school, and she was my next door neighbor, and her father was our guidance counselor. And I was over her house. I was like the Jenny Piccolo. I was at her house all the time. And her dad would be like, I think it's time for Jodi to leave now. And I'd be like, okay, Mr. Bryant. And then I'd get home and then I'd call her up. I'm like, hey, Mr. Bryant, can I talk to Beth, please? Like, I was just like, we were best friends. Like, I was around their house all the time. I was listening to a sound today, and I wanted to ask you, not on this podcast, but just privately, if you have a sound that you like a lot.
That I like sort of a sound in the world?
Yeah, like, or in music that you're like, that's my sound that makes me feel really happy.
Oh. In music, I just like a sweet electric guitar, just cutting through the air, making, punching me in the face. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How about you?
That's why I heard that there's a sound that I do like a lot, and there are two sounds I like a lot, and one goes like wink, 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 wink.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's a sound that I hear sometimes in commercials, or I hear it in places, and I really, really like it. And it's like wink, 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 wink.
Is it like a sound effect or an instrument?
I think it's some sort of instrument, electric instrument. And then I hear another sound that's like,
oh, that's a horsey.
I love the sound of a horsey. I like the sound of something that sounds like water hit, like big drops of water hitting a puddle. Almost like in that there's a classic rock song that's like, that uses that sound that I like a lot. Those are two sounds that really speak to me.
I'm trying to figure out what that sound is.
Like big drops of water.
But it's also an
puddle.
Instrument?
Yeah, I think it's an electronic. It must be, because it's in music that's recorded. And I don't think they Foleyed it, as we brought up.
We were talking about Foleying earlier.
Yeah. I love that sound. I like when I hear fake water in puddles.
Yeah.
Gunk, 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 gunk.
This is messing with my head now.
Yeah. But anyway, I just was going to ask you that off the mics and before the show, just as, because sometimes we have like fun banter in life. And so
Yeah.
I planned coming here today. I was like, when I heard that, I heard both the winky, 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 wink sound, and I heard at a little bit later, I heard the big drop sound. And I was like, I'm going to ask my friend Dave
if I can,
if he has a sound that he likes.
If anyone, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. I think you should make that winky wink sound as like, on Charlie Brown when the teacher talks.
Oh, yeah.
That should be your adult talking voice.
Yeah. Winky, 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 wink. Oh, boy. It when I do hear it, I've said to Stoli, my husband, I'm like, I'll be walking by and he's like, they're playing your sound on this commercial or something.
Does he know what it is?
He knows. He knows my sound. And so then I'll run in and I'll be like, and I hear it. And I'm like, in like an ASMR kind of way. I'm like, that's my sound.
I got to find out what this sound is. I'm freaking out.
I don't know if it has a name.
The winka winka sound.
Yeah. Or the big drops in puddles. But anyway, I'm glad I brought it up here.
It's good. This is a place. You're in a safe place.
I know. I mean, I'm in Queens. I'm in a basement. It feels safe.
It does. This is a nice, like, soundproofed room. I worry that this podcast is getting too slick.
Oh, yeah? You want to shake it up?
Well, usually something will have gone horribly wrong by now in my home.
Well, that still could be possible.
Yeah, something could go horribly wrong here. We have a whole show to do after this.
I know. You know, something could be going wrong at your home right now.
Oh, I hope not.
Did you turn everything off? Do you own an iron?
I do own an iron, not to brag.
When was the last time you used it? For what?
I don't iron that often because I like a layered look. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I'll iron the pants. And, but with shirts, I almost never iron because I end up like putting like them under a jacket with a scarf. And by the time I'm all tarted up, so little of the shirt is really showing that you could never tell. Yeah, so I don't, very rarely.
And do you own an ironing board? And where do you put it?
I do. I'm glad you asked. In the wall, there's like a thing from like ancient times where you put it in the wall.
Oh, but it's not like a drop-down one.
No, it's like a weird thing. Like it just, there's the thing in the wall and you take it out and there's an ironing board there all of a sudden.
Wow.
In the hallway, yeah.
Do you have a dumbwaiter?
No, I wish.
My building has a dumbwaiter.
That would be luxurious.
But there's nothing in it. It just says like, there used to be a sign saying, no kids should play here.
That's no fun.
Which makes kids just want to go play there. But now it's just like an obvious door to a dumbwaiter, but no one, everybody in my buildings lived there so long that nobody pays attention to it.
With no children playing in it.
Yeah, it's just a waste.
I had some friends who lived in a house, it was either in Hoboken or Jersey City, I can't remember, years ago. And they had a dumbwaiter, and then so they were having a party, and you could take the dumbwaiter from one floor to the other. Like you could stand in it. I guess it was like an elevator, basically.
Yeah.
And so I got in it on one floor.
With your friend Kevin.
I think this was a solo mission. And I took my pants down and took it down so just from the waist down my butt was showing like in the middle of this party, and then I took it back up, and I just thought that would be a funny thing to do.
That's a great bit.
Is to just show my butt to all these people at the party, and then kind of get back upstairs before they could figure out.
See, that's your scandal
who
that's going to come back.
I know. I was like, this will be my undoing.
I always wanted to go.
No pun intended.
One of those. Have you been to like one of those loft elevators? Like that, you have to like pull.
Yeah.
A chain, and then two pieces of it come together, and they meet in the middle.
Yeah, I have.
It's huge.
I took one of those in Oakland recently.
Oh, really?
It's pretty cool. You feel like you're in like a Tina Turner video from like the 80s or something. It's
and you can
cool.
see the guts of the building as you go through.
Yeah. Maybe not Tina Turner, but like a Janet Jackson or I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a cool video.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean, though,
I
right?
totally know what you mean. I remember in Fatal Attraction, there was a big sex scene in one of those in the meatpacking district with Glenn Close and Michael Douglas.
My friend Shayna, they shot, I think it was 9.5 weeks, the crazy sexual scene.
At the refrigerator?
That's like in her house.
Really?
Yeah.
When they were
apartment.
eating the food on the floor?
Yeah, that's
blindfolded?
Her house. Yeah, I've been there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to the refrigerator?
Yeah, I did weird stuff in her kitchen. Totally.
Isn't that funny that was like such a hot scene, but now I'm like, ugh. Like it was are we talking about the same hot scene? Like I don't have a big recall for that movie because I think I was probably too young to
I don't know
watch
that
it,
I
really.
ever actually saw it.
So all I remember was like he was like testing her, and he would put a blindfold on her, and he was like doing like he was controlling her and making her like eat a cherry, and then it would be hot sauce, and then it would be a piece of fruit, and then it would be hot sauce. And then they had sex.
And then
with their hats on? You can leave your hat on. Was that song in that movie?
Probably. I don't get that. Like, maybe I'm a simple man, but I don't need that hot sauce and fruit and blind.
That's what I'm saying.
I just need a couple minutes of friction and I'm good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I just like to, I don't need shenanigans.
That's a lot of work.
I don't need candles or candle wax or music or anything. Just give me a couple minutes of your time. That's all I need. And then we can get, go get Chinese food or something.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. That just definitely seemed like a lot of work. But I'm impressed that you've been in that house. That is very impressive to me.
Yeah.
That's the
Pretty
stuff
cool.
that dreams are made of when you come. Is that in New York?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Upper West Side. Yeah.
Oh, right. Because the whole movie, she was like a gallerist. Right?
Gallerist.
Who's
Yeah.
trying to find sexcapades.
Then, she found him all right.
Yeah.
9.5 weeks of sexual stuff. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the perfect relationship, 9.5 weeks.
So that's 2
Maybe a
months
little long.
in 1 week. I guess it depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
Because summertime, you got longer days.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, you're going to change your clock this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
good.
coming fast and
I want to
hard.
remind you, don't forget.
Speaking of, we're about
20
we
minutes
gotta
over?
get upstairs. We should get ready.
Poor Jim's probably circling the
Freaking out.
stage.
Yeah, we should get up there. Give
Let's
him the
get up
show of a
there.
lifetime.
We've got another one to do.
Thanks-
I'm so happy that
thanks
you
for-
invited me here.
Thank you. Now we go upstairs and do a whole other show.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jodi Lennon.
Thank you, Dave Hill. Thank you, Lucy, wherever you are.
She's probably sleeping and farting right now if I know her.
Perfect.
That's my girl. And there you have it, my delightful conversation with Jodi Lennon. Please check out Jodi in our new podcast, You Had to Be There, coming fast and hard to the internet. And watch it at home with Amy Sedaris. She plays a massive role in that show, writing, producing, and whatnot. And it's a great, great show. My thanks, as always, to Mr. Chris Gersbeck, my partner in crime. Thanks to my sweet Lucy, who I believe is eating food in the next room. I don't know if you can hear that. Again, please, I'm begging, and I'm just begging now. Rate and review and subscribe on iTunes and wherever you get incredible podcasts. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Hill. And we can keep lots of hot podcasting action. Oh, there's Lucy. Can you hear her? She's drinking now. She's parched. She's a good girl. Thank you so much for listening. Be careful, everybody. Stay street, stay hydrated, and get tested. Until next time, I'm Dave Hill. Go to my website at davehillonline.com. Why not? I don't know.
Since you've been gone, I can't keep time from standing still. I drew the blinds and rewatched Brazil. Baby, I'm gone. I'm gone. Baby, I'm gone. Money's all been spent on a letter never sent. It's raining all the time. Oh no, since you've been gone. You've been gone, and I can't do nothing but close my eyes.